everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Can you guys believe it's already August? I feel like this year has been going by so quickly. It's actually crazy, but at least a new month means a new bullet journal setup. So as usual, I'm going to be taking you through my setup for the month of August, and you guys can come along for the ride and plan with me. As usual, I love to showcase your recreations of my bullet journal spreads, so you can see them up above there. Make sure you tag me in any of your recreations on Instagram. My Instagram account is just Doodles, and when you do that, make sure you tag me in the photo, not just the caption, because then I'll be able to like and comment on all of them, and it just makes me happy seeing your guys' recreations. That's my favorite part about doing this whole thing, is that if I inspired any one of you guys to be creative and pick up your pencil and draw or organize your life, then my job is done. So thank you again for sending me all of your recreations. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this month's theme, which is seashells and coral and under the sea. I actually asked you guys to vote for my bullet journal theme on my Patreon account, which is patreon.com/AmandaHlee. So if you want to be a part of the future polls as well as receive exclusive content like a monthly bullet journal flip through, check out my Patreon account. It's in the description box below. I know I talk about it a lot, but I've been really loving it. You guys have built kind of like a little community. We're almost at 100 patrons, which is crazy, and I love it. And I have some super exciting announcements that I'm going to be making on there, so Patreon is the place to be, guys. Anyways, as I mentioned, the theme for this month is seashells and coral. The other theme that won on the poll was clouds, but I thought that this theme would go better with August since it is the end of the summer, so it gives it kind of like a beachy feel. I will do clouds at a later date if that's what you guys want. Again, I'll make a poll about it and you guys can decide for me. But without further ado, I'm going to hand you guys over to the voiceover. Alright, so for the cover page, I decided to draw a bunch of scattered seashells and starfish, and I even drew a rope around the August to give it a nautical feel, which I think suits this cover page really well. The accent color I chose this month is coral, and I'm using the Zebra Mildliner. I don't know the exact name, but I will link everything, all of the supplies and materials that I use in the description box below as usual, because you guys always ask me, so check down there if you're curious. For the seashells, I decided to not color all of them in all the way. So as you can see, some of them I did stripes, some of them I just used the coral as a shadow, and this is how I use my accent color and make it not as boring, because if you use one color, sometimes it can be a little mundane or a little flat looking, but if you change the style in which you color your doodles in, it just adds a little bit more visual interest to your cover page. But anyways, this is my August cover page. Moving on to my monthly spread setup. Last month I went back to my vertical bullet journal layout, and I really liked it, especially since it's the summer. I don't really have a lot of work to do, so I went back to that. I'm actually really curious to know your thoughts. Do you guys prefer the standard calendar layout, like with the squares, or do you prefer the vertical bullet journal layout? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious. I always love hearing your guys' like personal preferences in terms of your bullet journal, because it does give me ideas for my own. Of course, I added more seashell doodles to the top. I think I'm gonna do some sort of like mini tutorial on these seashell doodles on my Instagram, so go check out my Instagram, AmandaHdoodles, for that in the future. I want to do a lot more on my Instagram. I know I wasn't that active this month, but I have plans, guys. Don't worry. As usual, I did my YouTube growth tracker in the corner, and then in the bottom, since I had a lot of empty space, I decided to do some doodles of coral, and I used the thin end of my Zebra Mildliner to do it. It was really easy. You kind of just draw branches, and then later on I outlined it. It makes it a lot easier than outlining it and then filling it in my opinion. That's just a little trick if you want to learn to draw coral. I also added the sea floor and added some sort of like sand at the bottom, just because I wanted to make it look like it was the bottom of the ocean. So I also added a little fish, a little cute fish with some bubbles bubbling out. I'm so bad at voiceovers, guys. You guys know this already. My voiceovers are a hot mess. On the right side of this spread, this month I decided to do a 1 line a day journaling kind of section, but I kind of messed up. I didn't leave enough space to do every single day, so next month I'm probably going to give this its own page just so I can do it fully, but for now, it works. And I just love this page because of all of the little doodles, and you guys always ask me how I learned to doodle and how I get inspiration, and for that I would recommend Skillshare. You guys know I love Skillshare so much. I learned calligraphy from this website. If you don't know about Skillshare, it's an online learning community with over 15,000 classes in design, photo, art, and more. You can teach a class, you can take a class, and it's only $10 a month for premium membership with unlimited access to classes on mobile and offline. And I just really love what they're doing. I believe in their platform because I personally always am someone who preaches learning something new, and with this you can follow along with their easy classes, and it's just really great. I definitely recommend it, and if you click the link in the description box, the first 250 people get a free 2-month trial, so you have nothing to lose. So my next couple of pages are my trackers, and for these pages I wanted to, of course, incorporate these doodles even more, but I decided to add a thick black outline on the outside of the doodles, which is a trick that I learned from one of the Skillshare classes. It just makes everything pop, and I love the way that it turned out, especially with the calligraphy. And so for this month's trackers, I actually decided to do more than what I normally do, and we'll see how this turns out and whether I can keep up with it. But as you can see, I have my habit trackers in this page. So for this one, I put all of the things that I want to do every day or as much as possible, so like working out, cleaning my room, posting on Instagram, doing my emails, that kind of stuff. And at the bottom, instead of putting my mood trackers, which is what I would normally do, I decided to add a little quote as well as more doodles. So the quote that I wrote is the quote that I wrote, that rhymes, but it says, "You don't need more time, you just need to use the time that you have." And it's just kind of just about like time management, because that's something that I am awful at. And then for the other trackers, I decided to do that on the next page, and so you're going to see that I did my mood tracker as well as my health tracker, and the health tracker is something that is new. So what this is going to help me do is track the amount of sleep that I get as well as the amount of water. I did them on the same graph, but sleep is a solid line and water is a dotted line, and there's going to be 2 lines going kind of like a line graph, if that makes sense. Of course, on the other side, I, as usual, have to do my expense tracker. This is the same kind of deal, but I wanted to make it in the same style as the other trackers just to make this month's setup look pretty consistent. And then on the other side, I did a packing list. This month, I am going on a lot of trips. I'm going to Way Home Festival, Oshiega, and then I'm also going to be moving out, so I thought it would be nice to have a little space where I can write a bunch of lists and reminders of stuff that I need to bring. And it's also going to be nice for the future. Let's say I go on another trip and I can refer back to this to remember to bring certain things. So this is going to be quite a useful page, and I imagine that I'm going to be using it a lot this month. The last spread I'm going to be showing you guys is a weekly spread. This month I decided to do things a bit differently. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been switching things up a little, trying some new things just to make it a little bit more fun for me. So recently I've realized that I don't have a lot of tasks that are specific to a certain day, especially in the summer when I don't have school, I don't have work, that kind of thing. But I do have a lot of events and appointments that I want to keep track of. So how I decided to fix this problem is to have my regular event sidebar that I always have, and then just have kind of like a master weekly running to-do list that I can keep track of when I finish things, and then that way I don't need to keep writing things every single day, because I found that when I did a full weekly spread in the summer and when I'm less busy, I was just rewriting tasks, and that can get a little boring and repetitive. So I just found that this was a more effective use of my spreads and my time, and it only takes up half a page, so it saves paper as well, I guess. Anyways, here is the final look at my August bullet journal setup. I changed up a lot of things this month, so I will see how these changes go and how they work for me. But let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments, and of course, if you recreate any of these spreads, be sure to tag me on Instagram. Alright guys, so that concludes yet another bullet journal plan with me. I hope you guys enjoyed August's theme and setup. I will link down below my entire bullet journal video playlist if you want to do a little binge session, a little marathon. I have a ton of bullet journal videos that are there for your viewing pleasure, so go check that out. And also, while you're down there, be sure to hit that little subscribe button with the bell, because then you'll be notified every time I post a new video. As I mentioned before, Instagram and Patreon will be linked down below if you're interested, but I think that's pretty much it. I hope you have an awesome day. I love you so much, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys!